I would like to line dance at some point. I've never done it. You also definitely have a pair of cowboy boots in your closet.
Oh, I got a whole...
inherited from your grandpa.
But you don't see the 10-gallon hats here in Kentucky.
You definitely say that. Yes, ma'am.
I feel like I'm being personally attacked.
Football season means you can't do anything else on Sundays.
They are huge football states.
It's not even as over the top as one might think when watching this video.
Yeah,
it's actually real.
What I like to call bubby trucks.
Okay, you've never done that?
Happening. That ain't happening.
Hello, Servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016.
And I'm Ben. It's good to be back.
I got a few comments recently of people saying that I should do more videos with Ben, and since last week was Valentine's Day, and February in general is often considered the month of love, what better time would there be to have him back on my channel? And this time we're going to be talking about what it's really like dating an American.
Oh no.
Which I am doing. So let's see if I have some information to share.
Lots of pressure.
We've actually done a video before where we talked about what it's really like dating a German, where we reacted to this video called You Know You're Dating a German Woman When. Which
was really interesting.
Yeah, we kind of discussed how much of that was true for me and for our relationship. Yeah. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll be sure to link that up here in the corner for you guys. And today we'll be reacting to this video, You Know You're Dating a Texan Man When. Unfortunately, there's no video about American men in general on the Dating Beyond Borders channel, but I feel like a lot of the big American stereotypes that are known throughout the world come from Texas, so
for sure.
Maybe it kind of works for other parts of the country too. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not from Texas.
No,
I'm from
obviously.
Kentucky,
Yep.
a little ways apart, but culturally
pretty far apart geographically, but yeah,
culturally very close. But I will say Texas is special. Everything is accentuated in Texas. Yeah. Everyone knows the line.
Everything is huge.
Bigger in Texas.
Lots of country, culture there. Kentucky isn't known to be the most southern state of them all, but where you're from a rural area too. Yeah. And I feel like there's always a big difference between urban regions in the US and rural regions.
Yeah,
I feel like a rural region and even a northern state might have more in common with a rural region in the south than the rural region in the south might have to do with the city in the south.
But before getting too much into the weeds, before we go there, while Kentucky and Texas are both in the South, we're not the deep South, for example, in Kentucky. So there are differences in each of the regions.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
But you also did grow up in on a farm, and so I'm kind of thinking maybe some of these Texas stereotypes. Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
that's why we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
You know what never happened to me before I moved to the US?
What?
Getting spam calls on my cell phone almost every single day. And some of them even make it look like they're calling from my number here. I don't know how they do it, but it's really weird. And another thing that I didn't know from Germany was getting junk mail, physical mail in the mailbox. We have these letters in our mailbox that look like an official bank letter addressed to me, but no, it's just some company that bought my personal information somewhere. And junk emails, of course, which, I mean, that's something that I already knew from Germany, but I honestly feel like things are on a different level here, which I don't know if that has something to do with the different data protection laws. There's a whole industry here of data brokers that sell your information to other businesses and scammers, and that often includes your name, address, email, date of birth, phone number, information about your relatives, and sometimes even your social security number and your financial information. It's pretty wild. But I've decided to take matters into my own hands now with Incogni. They're sponsoring this video, so shout out to them. And what they do is they contact these data brokers on your behalf to request the removal of your personal data. Because that is your right, but because there are hundreds of data brokers out there, it's impossible to do this on your own manually. But Incogni has an automated process that will do this for you, and they also handle any objections from data brokers and intervene when your data shows up anywhere new, because they constantly monitor the databases for your information. I also like that they're super transparent and keep you updated on the progress every step of the way. So if you guys also want to take back your personal data with Incogni, you can use my code FELIG to get 60% off of the annual plan. Just click the link in the video description below or go to incogni.com/FELIG.
The other day, you even had a scam caller that had your bank information, right?
Yeah, it was pretty pretty wild. I got a call from my bank saying that there was some suspicious charge on my account and they asked if that purchase was for me. So obviously I said, no, that's not for me. And then they went on and asked for all kinds of information, including my online banking password. And so like I obviously got suspicious. And as I was on the phone with them, I already said something like, yeah, I would like to just call you back later about this. And they were kind of pushy. They were like, no, like I already have this process open now. I can just like delete the charge for you right now if you stay on the phone. And as they're on the phone, I'm like looking up the number they're calling from, but it was an official number from my bank. But as I said, they can make it look like that nowadays. I also asked them for some information to kind of verify, and I was like, yeah, what's the card number that you're talking about? And they knew the correct like last 4 digits of the card, so like they had some information about me, also my name and everything. But there was some other information that they got confused, so I just ended up hanging up on them, and I called the bank back myself to verify if the call was real, but sure enough, it was a scam, but it's just wild what they can do nowadays. Because as I said, it was an official bank number that they called from, supposedly. Today, too, with AI, they can make it sound like there's someone you know and call you as your mom or grandson or something like that. So be careful out there, guys, and give Incognito a try if you want to make sure that your information gets removed from these lists out there. As I said, 60% off with code FELIG. All right, let's watch the video.
Yeehaw. Dating beyond borders.
Sense of humor strongly advised.
Generalizations, people.
I like the music. Okay, the water tower, yes. That's what it looks like in Kentucky for sure. Yep.
Bingo.
Oh my God, okay. The other day, as I said, it was just Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day, we walked past this restaurant in Newport, which is in northern Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati, so like urban area, right? And they were just like doing a whole line dancing thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that just every day or every Wednesday, or it was like a Valentine's Day thing. And I said, I kind of like to do it. Like, I would like to line dance at some point. I've never done it.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You grew up in the South.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do at night. Like,
Yeah.
get a few drinks in you to go learn how to do it.
Yeah, I feel like,
least,
but the cool thing was too that like even though we're not in Texas, a lot of these people in the bar were wearing like cowboy boots and everything.
Oh yeah, cowboy boots. Yeah. Like I saw a couple guys with like cut off flannels and like cowboy hats, which that's like telltale sign.
They definitely dressed for the occasion.
Oh yeah, yeah. But with Texas, for example, and Tennessee a little bit, they're a little bit known for more Western style bars, honky tonks, and line dancing, and country music, and just the whole Western theme is very big in those bars.
Yeah.
The jorts and cowboy boots.
Look at that guy.
He's hot.
He's hot?
Yeah.
He's so hot.
Yes. Okay, you're gonna go talk to him.
No.
I'm serious. You're gonna go up to him. You're gonna ask for directions. Now,
I can't
do it.
do that. Hi. Excuse me. Do you know where the Alamo is?
Yes, ma'am. If you'll take this road right here, take it all the way down,
Okay.
you'll run into the river wall, and then before you know it, you'll be at the Alamo, ma'am.
Okay.
So they're in San Antonio?
Thank you.
So, he called me ma'am like 4 times.
He thinks I'm 100 years old.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Actually, how about I just show you ladies where it's at?
Sure.
All right, this way, ma'am.
Don't get offended or upset if he calls you ma'am. Here in Texas, it's a sign of respect. Texans are a very polite bunch, so please, thank you, sir and ma'am are customary.
That one's very true all over the South. Like,
For sure.
Yeah, I call everyone sir and ma'am. I call people younger than me sir and ma'am.
It was very weird when I first came here because it's not just a thing in Kentucky, but within Cincinnati too, which like Cincinnati is right at the border to Kentucky, so I don't know if it's something that comes up from Kentucky or if it's just an Ohio thing as well. But I came here and first of all, when people called me ma'am, I at first couldn't really tell if that was just polite and normal or if it was almost condescending because in Germany, if someone were to call me Fräulein, it's almost like passive-aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't tell at first. Yeah. And sometimes even friends did that with me. You know, I would ask a question like, oh, are we still meeting at 7 p.m.? And they would say, yes, ma'am. And I'd be like, wait, are they like fucking with me? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. And then strangers would call me sweetie, sweetheart, honey, and not just, I mean, mostly women, but also men sometimes, like older men, like waiters, waitresses, like store employees, a classmate's mom, like just people who I had never met before, and they would just call me that. And at first, it definitely also felt like crossing a line, like you just met me.
But I totally hear that from people, like the sweetheart, honey, all that stuff, like all the time, which I totally understand like, why that could somewhat cross a boundary, I guess.
It's just like if you're not used to it.
Yeah,
but I mean, obviously I'm
used
to it now.
But it comes from a like good
place
place.
of love.
A place of love.
I know.
Like,
it's just something to get used to. But that is definitely, and I'm sure that they also say honey and sweetheart in Texas.
Yeah.
That is definitely a thing here as well. But one thing that I still sometimes find like weird that I still have to get used to is when younger men call older women sweetie or sweetheart. Or so, I think it's maybe not sweetie, but it's sweetheart.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done that.
No.
But I've been around other guys like our age, and there was like a 60-year-old waitress, and they would say, "Thank you, sweetheart." Yeah. And that I don't know why, but it's like the age gap makes it weird, but I know it's normal and it's polite, and like nobody else found it weird, so, but
It's just ma'am.
Cultural differences.
It's just ma'am.
Would you call your parents ma'am and sir?
Yeah, I've referred to my dad as yes, sir.
Like at home?
At home.
Okay.
But also in sports, though,
he
too.
was
But
your
that's
coach.
more like
he was
a different dynamic.
What about your grandparents?
Yeah, my grandpa, I would. Yeah,
Sir?
but that was more like the farm, that whole dynamic. So there was like a different dynamic there. It wasn't necessarily like just parents.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay, also before we move on, he's obviously stereotypically dressed in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
Yes.
How realistic is that?
In Texas, very realistic.
Yeah.
Texas, I think like Oklahoma, like anywhere in like that southwest area, very normal. Louisiana, it's very normal. Here in Kentucky, you don't see a lot of
You don't see it a whole lot, but in certain places, yes. Like the state fair.
Yeah,
We saw a bunch of people, I feel like. And I mean, you also definitely have a pair of cowboy boots in your closet.
Oh, I got a whole...
inherited from your grandpa.
Oh, yeah. They're alligator skins.
Yeah.
They're nice.
So it's not even as over the top as one might think when watching this video.
Yeah,
it's actually real.
But you don't see the 10-gallon hats here in Kentucky.
No, but I was saying for Texas.
Yeah.
Well, it was lovely meeting you. Would you like to get some dinner with me tomorrow night?
He looks like a completely different dude with the hat on.
Yeah. Of course, the chivalry.
Pulling the chair out, opening the door.
Hold on a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely San Antonio. It's the Riverwalk. It's beautiful.
Okay. I've never been to Texas.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Look at all the people.
He's gonna be holding the whole time.
Chivalry is alive. Get ready to get treated like a real lady here in Texas. Okay, chivalry is a topic that we've talked about before in the other video. I feel like even some of the other Q&A videos that we've done about our relationship and dating and stuff like that, we've talked about this a lot. And I also talked about this on the Dating Beyond Borders podcast because Marina from Dating Beyond Borders, who just played the friend, she's the one who runs this channel, and she also has a podcast which is on a separate YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on Spotify, etc. And a few months ago, she asked me to be a guest, and yeah, we talked about all kinds of dating differences between Germany and the US, cultural differences. It was like over an hour long, I think hour and a half or something. So if you'd like to hear a more detailed conversation about that topic from my point of view and hear some personal stories from my life, you can check that out. I'm gonna put all the links in the video description, and I can also link the YouTube video of that episode here in the corner. But there were actually some people in the comments that weren't too happy about what I said about this whole chivalry thing. I've said this before in the videos with you, where like, I sometimes find it too much here. And I think some people just like thought, oh, I think it's annoying when someone holds the door open for me. I just want to be clear, no. If someone holds the door open for me, I just think everyone should do that for everyone. Like it shouldn't just be like men should do it for women. Like I should also do it for you. Like everyone should do it for everyone. What I do sometimes find annoying, I think I've used the words patronizing before, is when men here are too pushy with that kind of stuff. And that happens sometimes where they're like, let me carry your bag. And I'll be like, no, thank you, I'm fine, I'd like to carry it myself. And then they insist, and it's like, please respect, like I want to carry my own bag. Like,
no,
that's just what I meant by that.
I totally understand that. And I mean, this is also correct though, because like you see this everywhere. This is still very alive and well in me. Like
absolutely.
Like I still want to hold the door open for you. There's still parts of the time where I'm like, I want to open the car door for you. Yeah. But like...
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah. That's just, that takes too much time.
Yeah. But like where I find myself doing this more is with my mother and my grandmother. Like specifically like the putting on the coat thing, opening the car door.
But even I do that with them.
Yeah, and I don't know if I hope that's everywhere.
I think this is maybe more alive in the South a little bit, because the South just culturally is just a little bit more traditional in those kinds of ways. And so chivalry, though, in general, compared to Germany, very much a thing here in Cincinnati, Kentucky, for sure. So far, both of these things, I feel like, applied to us as well.
But also, we both pay for meals.
Yeah, like, I think you were definitely raised in a way that you wanted to pay for meals at first, and I was like, that's, like, we can't do that forever.
Yeah, we just kept on going out.
We work together, too. Like, we basically share a lot of our money anyways, and so, like, we just take turns.
Yeah.
That's how it should be in what I think of a relationship, but I obviously relationships in Germany are a lot more emancipated in that way, that, like, people are equal even in that sense. Like, people don't hold doors for each other in general a whole lot in Germany, but, like, both ways. And I think it should be done more, but as I said, both ways.
It's not necessarily like condescending that some women in the South, that's what they want. They want a man that's going to do all of this.
Absolutely,
so
yes.
They're doing exactly what their family has taught them to do.
Yes, and being polite, there's absolutely I have no problem with politeness. Everything he did, that is awesome. Yeah, but I also wouldn't think that there's anything wrong if she held the door for him in like another situation or something.
Hey, hon.
I'm just waiting for the plumber to come, because my sink is all messed up.
There's no need for a plumber, hon. I'll fix it.
Okay.
All right. All done. Now I'm fixing to make us some barbecue.
No, baby, you don't have to fix anything else. It's all fixed.
He's probably the kind of guy who will reach for his toolbox if you need fixing anything, but fixin' to actually means going to here in Texas, so don't confuse the two.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy, surprisingly, but the one rule I have is I don't touch plumbing, so if there's anything wrong with plumbing, like that's...
we try to stay away from.
I know a guy, but I don't touch plumbing.
The fixing, you definitely say that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go fix me a drink.
I've never heard that before.
I'm fixing to go make a drink.
I don't think that's very common in the Cincinnati area, but
I remember the first time I said that, you were like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So, okay, say again how you say it.
I'm going to go fix a Coke
or
something like that. And like, the first time I said that to you, you stopped.
I know. I was like,
but yeah.
And I had already been here for a few years before I met you, but they said fixing to means going to.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not the way you use it. I feel like you say like, almost like fixing to means like to make.
Yeah, it is. But like, I'll say, I don't know how often I've used it around you, but I've used it before, like I'm fixing to do laundry today. Or it's something just planned out through the day that I'm going to do.
So I guess maybe it has different meanings. Like let us know in the comments below, because I never really thought about this, but you definitely also say, I'm gonna fix a meal.
Yeah.
So I far like it can also mean to prepare something.
I honestly don't even know what I mean. So it's just Southern slang.
But you definitely say it. So far we're 3 out of 3.
Yeah. All right, football.
Hey, babe. Babe. Hey. Can we go check out the Hills and Dales bar, please?
Babe, it's not a good season.
What do you mean, like this winter?
No, babe. The Cowboys, they're doing pretty badly. Me and my boy, we just want to be here and cheer on the boys.
Woo! Prescott's on fire, man! Woo! Am I right?
Hell yeah! I'll call you. All right.
There are more than 4 seasons in Texas: summer, spring, fall, winter, and football. Okay, that, I'm gonna generalize here, but that is literally the entire US. That's not just Texas. That is the entire country.
I have to stop you there, because Texas, and any like football lover that knows a little bit about like Texas and Florida specifically in football, they are huge football states. Like Texas high school football is a way of life.
Okay.
And while football isn't big here in Kentucky we have basketball.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows University of Kentucky basketball, people freak out over that. But specifically for me, not the Cowboys, but the Bengals.
Yeah, but it's not just you. Like, you can go through Cincinnati, and every Sunday, every Monday night, whenever they show football, and also college football on Saturdays, like throughout football season, most men, I would argue, I don't know the exact numbers, but it feels like most men watch football all weekend long, and Monday night, and isn't there sometimes a Thursday night or something?
Yeah, there's Thursday, Sunday, and Monday.
That's the entire US. Like,
Yeah.
Even if you don't live in Texas, there's still football season, and football season means you can't do anything else on Sundays.
And also,
and maybe go to church for a lot.
On top of that, Texas is a little special in this regard with the Dallas Cowboys. They're called America's team.
Oh, really?
They're I'm pretty sure the most valuable sports team in the world.
But they haven't won the Super Bowl in a while, right?
Yeah.
Or not
a
since
pretty
I
long
was-
while, since like the Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman days, I'm pretty sure. The Cowboys fans can tell me about that one. But it's been a while, like 30 years. So
not since I've lived here.
yeah, they got close this year.
Ooh, I love this song. Mr. King. You would be my queen, oh my rock, for my soul is true. I'm head over boots for you. 'Cause I'm head over boots for you. Darling, you're the one I want. Babe. Oh, babe.
What?
I've got a surprise for you.
Okay, you've never done that.
That ain't happening.
He probably loves his country music. We're 4 out of 4 for him, guys. You.
I feel like I'm being personally attacked.
You're definitely into country music. But explain what kind of music, because I know that there's different types of country
Yeah,
music.
I like old school country music. Like, I don't know, Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams Jr., but I also like the newer stuff. I like more bluegrass. So like
Tyler Childers.
Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson, the Steel Drivers, that's Chris Stapleton's band. Billy Strings, like a lot of those guys.
If there is anyone watching from Germany, none of these names have ever meant anything to us in Germany.
Yeah, but like that music's like the lifeblood of where I'm from. Kentucky is very special. Kentucky is called the bluegrass state. We have a genre in the U.S. called bluegrass music, and that's traditionally where a lot of that comes from. And that's the stuff that I grew up on. With Texas, it's a little bit more, back in the day, it was more like George Strait, like
I know
Roadhouse.
this name.
Yeah,
Okay.
George Strait. I show you George Strait a lot.
Yeah,
There was like a very like heavy steel guitar sound. It was just really good, like Roadhouse blues, like sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the good thing about country music is that I believe that it's on the resurgence. We need to get pop beats out of country
So
music.
there was this thing where it's like country music went pop kind
Yeah,
of.
it had pop beats with rock guitar.
And that's something that
And
you
that's,
don't like.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
And like if that's your thing, more power to you, but it's not really my jam.
Anyways, this definitely applies to you. So we're already 4 out of 4 things that are true for this American
Can I ask you
man.
something though?
What?
Do you actually enjoy when I play country music in the car?
It depends. Sometimes, I sometimes ask you. Sometimes it's too doodly for me.
Okay.
But I like Tyler Childers.
She
I like
starts
the
hearing the banjo music and I'm like, turn the other way, run.
No, that's not even it. Sometimes it depends on the situation. But I also want to make clear you don't only listen to country music.
No.
You, like a lot of Americans, I feel like hip hop is huge. Like when I came here, I'd never seen that many people just listen to hip hop. Just everyone, girls, boys, young, old. Like you definitely listen to hip hop and you listen to country.
I listen to rock. I listen
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah,
everything. I
you
listen,
listen
to
to
literally
electro.
everything.
Yeah.
I do not discriminate in terms of music.
No.
Unless it's poppy country music.
Hey, babe, you want some steak?
Yeah, but make it small. I'm not that hungry.
You don't want to say.
All right, small size steak coming right.
Oh, it's going to be massive.
This is the small. And then what does the big size look like?
Well, ma'am, you've already seen it.
Oh my god. Everything is bigger in Texas, portions and personalities. The other things you just have to find out for yourself. Oh yeah, they love their barbecue because it's too damn good not to. All right.
Okay, I've spent a little bit of time in Texas, and from what I can tell, everything is bigger in Texas is pretty accurate. The speed limit, the trucks, the speed limit.
How
Like,
are the trucks even bigger than they are here? Because they're already enormous here compared to any other country
I think
in the
it's
world.
just the presence of what I like to call bubby trucks.
Is it the double wheels?
No, those are dualies.
Okay.
Dual wheels. Bubby trucks are the ones that you see on like huge lifts with like those crazy suspension in it and
Okay.
like, you know, they sound like a ricer and it sounds like a turbo. It's like going down the street. It sounds crazy. And then you see them pull into a...
But wait, are you talking semi-trucks or pickup
No,
trucks?
pickup trucks. Pickup
yeah.
trucks. Now, semi-trucks, like, those are all basically the same wherever you go in the U.S. But everything seemingly is bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
Like,
What's wild, though, I think this also does apply to the US, because compared to Europe, in most other countries in the world, everything is bigger in the US. period.
Yeah.
And then I guess within the US, it's even bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, the state of Texas alone is huge.
I don't mean this in like
Twice the size of Germany.
I don't mean this in like a condescending way at all, but like Texas is like the supersize me state. Like the US in general just
You have
kind
to
of
explain that, I think.
does everything like bigger than the rest of, you know,
The world?
the Western world, like in terms of like, you know, space. That's how I'm thinking of this, or like food portions. And then Texas is like, we're gonna have these huge interstates. We're gonna make it go as fast as possible. And then we're gonna have huge trucks. We're not just gonna have a steak. I've been driving down the road on Texas before, and I've seen like food eating competitions. Like where if you can eat this steak, you get it for free.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you have to pay.
Oh gosh, that makes me feel sick, just like an eating competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess this is definitely true, but at the same time, I feel like this last point doesn't really fit in with the like, what it's like dating a Texas man. Because like now I was trying to see if like how much of this applies to you. And this is more like, does it apply to this region? This isn't really about a man. This is more just about how things are in Texas.
Yeah, how things are in Texas.
But I would say compared to Germany, everything is bigger here too. Portions, 100%. Cars, parking spots, parking lots, stores, changing rooms within a store. Like in Germany, you'll have this teeny tiny thing to get changed in. In the US, the first time I went into a changing room in like Dillard's or something, or Macy's, it was a whole room. It was as big as some bedrooms are in Munich apartments, and that was just the changing room. Like I could have fit probably 20 people in there.
Have a party, like a rave.
So this is definitely true for the entire US. Okay, I have another question though about the barbecue.
Yeah.
Because I get sometimes confused. Like obviously he was just grilling, but isn't there another type of barbecue in Texas where it's like the slow cooked meat type of thing?
I'm pretty sure that's kind of like what all barbecue is. It's kind of slow and low.
I
but
never
I mean,
understand
also, like,
the difference.
I'm not huge into barbecue, but I know that like there's different areas in the U.S. that are known for barbecue. So like you have Texas pit barbecue, and then you have Kansas City barbecue, and then like North Carolina is very known for it. Theirs is more mustard based.
Okay, but so basically for non-Americans, when a German hears the word barbecue, we think to grill. Like we think it's a party, it's a cookout, it's a grill out. It's when people get together and grill stuff on a grill, like whatever you put on the grill. It's not, the meat isn't called barbecue.
Yeah.
But in this case, the meat is called barbecue. You can even go to a restaurant and get it.
Yeah.
Right?
If someone has a better way of describing this in the comments, please do so.
Yeah.
But with barbecue, it's like the process of seasoning the meat, however, whether it's dry rub or sauce, and then putting it into a smoker or some kind of enclosed grill or something like that.
Okay.
And it gives it like this smoky flavor to it.
Okay.
And a lot of times with the slow and low cooking method of barbecue, you can literally pick it up out of the smoker and the meat will just fall off.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
But sometimes you even get barbecue at the store from like this local restaurant, and they sell like, and you say, oh, I got me some barbecue like in a prepackaged
Yeah, that's
thing.
pork. So that's cooked in the
pulled pork or something.
Yeah, pulled pork. That's cooked in the fashion that they're cooking it here.
Okay, I'm just like, maybe I'm confusing everyone, but I always find this confusing because does this just mean that Texas people love to have a barbecue party with everyone? Because that's what I would have thought that means. Or does it mean that they love that type of meat specifically?
It's that type of meat specifically, and probably also the event.
Both,
there's chain restaurants around here that are Texas pit barbecue restaurants, specifically making Texas pit barbecue.
And that doesn't mean that you're going to a restaurant that has a grill party.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's video because it was our first in the American edition, and this one was about dating a Texan. So if you liked it, hit it a big like and of course a share, and subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos on dating around the world. And now in Texas.
Y'all be sure to come visit the Lone Star State soon.
The Lone Star State.
The Lone Star State.
Texas.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had a southern accent more.
For breaking down your barriers, y'all.
Okay, so definitely make sure to give Dating Beyond Borders a follow and also check out their podcast. But yeah, basically, I felt like all of these things were true for American men here in the Cincinnati/Kentucky region as well. And most of them were true for you. I feel like for me, one thing that definitely stood out when I first came to the US and dated men here was like the sweet talk and showering girls and compliments. That is not something, at least in Germany. I think in other European countries, that's definitely a thing more. But Germans are obviously known for being a little bit more just like reserved and don't really share a lot of unnecessary things that aren't 100% true.
Yeah.
And here there was a lot of just so many compliments that I was just like overwhelmed by it at first. And not just from men, like from people in general, like other girls too. And sweet talk for sure. Like I felt like when an American guy was flirting with me, I could definitely tell. Like when a German guy is flirting with you, you might not realize it. Like he might just be talking to you about politics. But I feel like American men in a lot of cases are just like very obvious in the message of I'm interested in you and oh, you're so beautiful, I love your dress, like basically complimenting everything about the girl. Or then she'll tell him, oh, I'm studying at this university, oh, that you're such a smart girl too, like basically that type of thing I think is a big difference. I mean, okay, other things that I've addressed in like the podcast, for example, with Marina and other videos I've done is like there's definitely some flakiness in the dating scene here. And that's not just American men though, that's both men and women here, mostly our generation and younger, that people just, you know, ghost each other, don't show up to a date, or like kind of say, oh, we're gonna meet up Sunday, and then like don't follow up on
I think a lot of that is values and respect, but I will agree that it happens.
I mean, people here do that within friendships too, but it also happens in the dating scene for sure. Yeah. And I think the whole like playing games thing, again, that kind of applies to both men and women, but I feel like in our generation, that definitely has a bigger place in the dating scene here. Like, oh, we have to wait for 3 days before we call each other, gotta make yourself rare to be more interesting. I've just like witnessed that a lot more here from both sides though.
Yeah.
Than I have in Germany.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's just something. But I feel like in terms of men, mostly the sweet talking and the compliments is strong, and the chivalry.
Yeah.
Like at first, when you're not used to that as a German, I was almost a little like, wait, this is suspicious.
Yeah.
Like you don't even trust it at first. You're like, oh, hold on. That's a little too much. Are you trying to sell me something? Are you trying to have me join a cult or something?
He's a snake oil salesman.
Yeah. Well, if you guys feel like there was something missing, either about Texan men specifically or about American men in general, put it in the comments below. As the video said at the beginning, obviously these are generalizations. This is not going to be true for every single American, every single Texan, every single German. Every person is different. These are just some like overall differences that Marina and the people from Dating Beyond Borders apparently have observed, and things that I've observed in my life here. Thank you, Ben, for being in this video and for doing this with me.
Yep, thank you guys.
And of course, big shout out to Incogni again for sponsoring this video. You can find the discount code and link in the video description so that hopefully you don't receive as much junk mail and spam calls in the future. Speaking of scams, unfortunately, there have been a lot of scam bots in the comment section of my videos recently, pretending to be me and trying to get you guys to start a conversation with them on Telegram or WhatsApp or something. My team and I are trying to block these accounts as soon as we see them, but sometimes there are new ones popping up every single day, so it's hard to keep up. So I just wanted to let you guys know again that that's not me. I would never ask any of you to communicate with me outside of my official platforms. And there's actually an easy way to find out if the comment is really from me. So my profile here on YouTube will have a little check mark next to it when I comment. And you can also just click on the profile name and it'll bring you to the homepage of my channel, of this channel, where you can see all of my videos. If you see an account that doesn't have a check mark, and when you click on the name, it takes you to some random channel with 0 videos and no subscribers, that's a scam account and it's impersonating me. So definitely don't interact with them, and it would actually be really helpful if you could even report them to YouTube for impersonation. In a lot of cases, they tell people that I am running a giveaway, and then they come up with some kind of reason of why you need to send them money, like you're gonna have to pay for shipping to receive the giveaway prize or something. So please don't fall for that. I would never ever ask any of you for money. So just a heads up, if you see these kinds of accounts, don't interact with them, definitely don't send them money, and if anything, just block or report them. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss any videos in the future. You can also support this channel by sending us a super thanks down below, or a coffee on Ko-fi.com, or join the Patreon community. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more content. You'll also sometimes see Ben on there. And with that, I hope we'll see you next time. Cheers!
See ya. Thanks, Texas.